Hey Vinyl community, it's David Michael. I'm here with a really quick video. It's a contest submission or a response video to Backwoods Metal for Jared. I'll leave a link down below where to find his videos and where to find his contest submission. Jared is celebrating his 200th sub, and I think he's well beyond that now. So I want to say congrats to Jared. He's a stand-up guy. He says it like it is. I really like watching his videos. So I encourage you to please subscribe to Jared's videos at Backwoods Metal. Jared, I'm all over the place with my videos. If you see my videos, and that's kind of a byproduct of being in the record retail business for 22 years, whatever it was. You get exposed to so much music that your tastes are kind of all over the place. Jared kind of fulfills that that metalhead in me. And I've grown up with metal. It's been part of my life. It still is part of my life. That's why I enjoy watching Jared's videos. Is that he's really into metal, and I really respect that. He's a lot more focused than I am. I'll say that. So I want to say once again, congrats to Jared. Cheers to you. Jared has a contest to celebrate his 200th sub. It's a really interesting contest. And Jared wants you to name 5 albums, hard rock metal albums that you love or you like that don't have the original lead singer. And then before I pressed record, I watched Andy's video, which is a response video for Jared's contest. Andy at Andy's Vinyl Den, I believe it's called now. He used to be Audiophile 777. And then Andy, he picked 3 of my albums I pulled. So I had to quickly, it forced me to think a lot harder. So to that end, it caused me to think really quickly on my feet. So Andy got to a few albums before I did, and I kind of wanted my video to be a little bit just different. So it's not, I'm not showing the same stuff. So first of all, I'm gonna get to my 5 picks of albums that I love that don't have the original lead singer in the hard rock metal genre. First of all, Jared, I was blasting, but I turned it down for this video. Nuclear Assault, Handle with Care. So to celebrate your 200 sub and to celebrate your contest, I'm blasting one of my favorite metal albums of all time, Nuclear Assault, Handle with Care. All right, so I'm gonna try to make this video quick because, as you all know, I'm not really good at making quick videos. I like to, my first pick, these are in no order. Went through my metal albums, and I picked 5 that I thought I love. They don't have the original lead singer, and just let me quickly tell you about why I love this album. I'm going to start with Anthrax, Among the Living. Joey Belladonna is on this album. The original lead singer is Neil Turbin. This is my original copy from high school, and it's still in the shrink. I don't know how I was able to keep this in the shrink for all the moves I've had as a young man and in my adulthood, but still in the shrink, still in good condition. We all have summers where, at least I did anyways, where one cassette tape or one album dominates your summer. And I remember this album and then the I'm the Man EP. That was like, they kind of came quick after each other. And I don't know, in every friend's car, those tapes were in rotation constantly, and we just lived and died by those 2 albums, the I'm the Man EP and Among the Living. Still, to my feeling anyways, it's probably still their best album. And then I could have picked another album, Anthrax, Sound of White Noise, with John Bush on vocals. 2 different Anthraxes, but to me those are their 2 best albums, Sound of White Noise and Among the Living. But I pulled this one just so I could film this really quickly. So that's pick number 1, Anthrax, Among the Living. Joey Belladonna is the singer on this album. The original singer was Neil Turbin. Where am I going to go from here? We're going to go with Fate's Warning, No Exit. Fate's Warning this is my favorite Fate's Warning album. It's a riff fiesta. It's just non-stop riffs. And the original lead singer, his name escapes me now, and I think I'm just freezing because I'm filming now, but No Exit. The singer on this album is Ray Adler, and you either love his vocals or you hate his vocals. He has that high pitch in his singing that he doesn't really have nowadays. But in the first couple Fates Warning albums that he was on, he sung really high. It's kind of like Geddy Lee. You either like him or you hate him. So No Exit. Back when cassettes ruled the world, and I was young in high school, I didn't have a lot of money, I used to go to pawn shops where you could get used cassettes for $1. And I would just take chances. My dad would give me $5, or I would take some bottles in and get $10, whatever it was. I would go to these pawn shops and I would buy tapes I knew, or I would take chances. And this was a chance I took. It had the Metal Blade logo on the tape, and I was like, okay, I'm blind buying this one. It's Metal Blade, and I just put it in, and it blew my mind. It was the first kind of hard metal progressive album I heard. I heard this album before Operation Mindcrime from Queensryche, I believe, and it's even harder than that album. And this is an original pressing that I got. I can't remember when I got this one, but I burnt that tape out I got from that pawn shop, and then I graduated to the vinyl. So I love this album. It's a concept album. If you want to sample this album, go into that knowing it's a concept album. And I can't say enough things about enough awesome things about this album. Fates Warning, No Exit is my second pick. I know a lot of people are showing Iron Maiden albums, Jared. So I could have pulled out, like I said, I think Andy pulled out Number of the Beast. And I think that's the consensus choice for maybe their best album. For me, it's that, Power Slave, and I really love Somewhere in Time. That's just great memories of that album. I pulled out my original US copy of No Prayer for the Dying, an album that's kind of slightly maligned as one of their lesser albums. A lesser Iron Maiden album is still better than most metal albums. So you can take even the Blaze Bayley albums, and they're still better than most bands' albums, to me, anyways. This one has Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, which was a #1 UK single. It's got Tail Gunner, Holy Smoke. The rest of it is kind of middling as far as Iron Maiden goes, but this is my original US red vinyl. So I wanted to show that, and then I want to put a kind word in for this album that it's not as bad as a lot of people will lead you to believe. It's got about 3 or 4 top level Iron Maiden songs, and the rest are just kind of. But having said that, I still think the okay-ish songs on this album are still better than a lot of the new stuff they're putting out. That's my opinion. We're gonna go with Iced Earth, number 4, Iced Earth, Horror Show. This is my favorite Iced Earth album. It's all based upon themes of horror show movies. So there's Wolf, which is the werewolf, and then there's songs about the vampire and the mummy, Dracula, stuff like that. This one has Matt Barlow on vocals, which to me is the quintessential Iced Earth singer. The original singer, I believe, is John Greeley, or Greeley. Matt Barlow took over shortly thereafter, and to me, he is the sound of Iced Earth. Tim Ripper Owens did some albums with them, and they were good. But to me, I couldn't help but thinking of Judas Priest, because our Iced Earth albums are not that far away from Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and you throw Tim Owens in there, and to me, it just it sounded too familiar. But Matt Barlow, to me, he's the quintessential Iced Earth singer. This is my favorite Iced Earth album, called Horror Show. Put on the first track, Wolf, and hear that double bass, and it's just it kicks your ass all over the place. So number 4 is Iced Earth Horror Show. And we're gonna wrap this up with kind of maybe a slightly outside pick. It's hard rock. A lot of people call it metal. Back in the day, they sure did. But we're gonna go with Faith No More, Angel Dust. Meg Patton is on this album, and the original lead singer is Chuck Mosley. To me, Jim Martin, the guitar player on this album, and The Real Thing, he's a metal guitar player. And he brought the metal riffs to Faith No More. He was the counterpoint to that keyboard sound they had, and that Real Thing slight hip-hop sound, or whatever you want to call it, rappy thing that Mike Patton did. He brought the metal aspect of it. to me, this is like Horror Show with Iced Earth. This is their quintessential album to me, anyways. I think people were expecting The Real Thing Part 2 because that album is so big, and then they brought this album out, which is like incredible right turn or left turn. So I think their best songs are on this album. Midlife Crisis, Be Aggressive, Small Victory, Jizzlobber. I could go on and on, but I wanted to pick something a little bit different, so I went Faith No More, Angel Dust, an album that to me rocks. A lot of these songs rock harder than a lot of out and out metal albums to me, anyways. And Jim Martin to me is one of the most underrated kind of guitar players who got pigeonholed into kind of like a metal alternative act, although Faith No More were kind of one of the originators of that kind of genre. So anyways, my favorite Faith No More album, Angel Dust by Faith No More. There's 5. So once again, I want to thank everyone for always watching my videos, but this isn't about me this time. This is about Jared and Backwoods Metal, and celebrating his 200th sub. And I encourage you to please check out his videos. He, like I said, he tells it like it is. He likes his rock hard, and he likes his metal even harder. And I really respect that. And like I said, he always tells it like it is. And whenever I find a YouTube channel with someone like me, I just kind of tell it like it is. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, and he's one of those guys. So once again, I'll raise my coffee to Jared. And like I said, I'm submitting this video for consideration for his contest. So once again, Jared, congrats. Really like your videos, and I'll see you down the line. Take care, everyone. David and Michael for the Vinyl Community.